It is true that monk mode will make you rich, but I want to talk today more about how you can use it to change your life, or at least about how I've been using it. Actually, this is a good point to mention on my channel. Like, when I say change your life and reinvention, it's an inner change. After you change the inner, everything on the outside just naturally changes. So we mostly think, how can I change what's happening outside? That's not wrong, because that can drive us to do the inner work, but the inner change is really what I'm talking about on my channel. That's why I even started this channel. Oh my gosh, this helicopter is plaguing me. It's supposed to be about monk mode. That's not peaceful. So it's not about productivity. It's about, you are a spirit. You have a spirit inside. You are a spirit inside a body. You are an embodied spirit, I guess you could say, which means you have a monk mode. There is an inner you that loves peace and peaceful work and peaceful productivity, silence, no distractions, going within. You have a monk mode. It's not like you have to learn monk mode. You just have it, so you can switch it on if you want to. So since I was a kid, I very much was in touch with all of that. So some of us are less in touch, some of us are very in touch. As women over 40, we've been through Abraham Hicks, A Course in Miracles, all of that. I truly believe that when you go through all of that, eventually you end up at God and even Jesus. All the New Age spirituality stuff, and I still have a very soft spot for it. It doesn't matter what your belief is. It doesn't matter what your religion is. You have the spirit inside. You have monk mode. Those of us that have had it since we were a kid, we find it easier to get in touch with it. Some of us get in touch with it, then we lose touch with it, then we get in touch with it again. How I do it is I tend to go into like project monk mode, where I will disappear and work on a project for a chunk of time, and then I will re-enter life. But now that I've completely changed my life, I'm sort of in monk mode all the time. So I was just watching Brenda Turner's video on monk mode. She talks about how you can get rich through it and it will triple your income, and it's a fantastic video. You should watch it. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I have some opinions about it all and I wanted to extend the conversation, and I just want to talk about what I did and what I do in monk mode, in case it could help, because I really think it could help some people. I have just a little bit different perspectives on what she talks about in the video. To me, it's not about locking your phone away and getting earplugs and things like that. You can do that. It's not even about meditation. Like, if you struggle with meditation, you'll understand. Do you think that monks are like, I have to write morning pages, I have to get up at 5 a.m, I have to meditate? No. It's, when I think of monk mode, when I talk about the monk mode that will change your life, it's more of an inner peace, and that leads to a productivity that comes very naturally. But you can trigger the monk mode in order to change your life. Another thing Brenda talks about is depression and anxiety, and how monk mode can fix that. I don't know about that. I mean, it's not that I've never experienced depression or anxiety. It's just that I think monk mode is actually just a beautiful way to live life. It doesn't have to be a fix. And I think once you start to try to use it as a fix for things and something you must do, it's not going to change your life. It's only going to get you deeper into trouble, really, and it's not going to help you achieve that peaceful monk mode that I'm talking about today. Some people will say, you have to do this to fix your life, to fix your nervous system. But no, I think, can't we just, the biggest distractions out there, okay, are your phone and TV, social media. And for me, the biggest distractions were family and relationships. I've already mentioned in other videos how I've wasted years of life being involved in family events and people's dramas, and then my own dramas, which I would share with family. And you can look up and a whole year has gone past, decades have gone past, just living that lifestyle, with good stuff in between. Maybe go on trips together, then you take a weekend away, then you have to fly for another week. it adds up, and you've lost all that time. But I think as humans, we have proven like you can live a really good life with those distractions, like your phone and TV and Netflix and your family and relationships. I mean, if you never do monk mode and you're never productive and that's just your life, then you've probably lived a pretty nice life, and we've proven that is possible. So if we've proven as humans that life can be pretty good without monk mode, then why would we even bother with it? Why would we even try, right? Well, it's more for if you feel like you really want to reinvent your identity, you really want to change your life, you want to turn your life around, you want to become someone new, you want to make strides in your finances or relationships or a certain area, you want to complete a project. These are, in my opinion, the best uses for monk mode. But it's not about productivity. You don't have to beat yourself up and be like, okay, for 90 days I'm going monk mode. Do you think that's how monks do it? No, they don't. So let me talk about how I did it, or how I do it. First of all, I have no interest in TV and news, so that makes it easier if you have no interest. I haven't owned a TV probably about a decade, but that doesn't mean I don't watch my iPad. I watch Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus. I love sports, so I watch NFL, NBA on my iPad. So, but what I do cut out is ads. And like when I go visit my little brother, for example, they just have the TV on and it just plays and they just have ads. But they fit in this world. They fit into Australian society. They don't mind. They don't find it loud. They don't find it grating. They've probably not ever experienced, like, I don't think they've ever meditated. I'm not having a go at my brother. They're just an example. If you haven't experienced like peace and silence, then TV, ads and things like that won't bother you. But when you do, you become a lot more selective. So I will say that not having a TV makes monk mode way easier. Then not wanting to engage with society very much, not wanting to being no contact with family and toxic family. I mean toxic friends, or even if they're not, but you just need to get some silence and get some peace. All of that will make it a lot easier. What I did in the past year was I spurted it all off with something called a Daniel fast, which I didn't know what that was. So I'm not necessarily saying you have to do that, but I think that fasting is really, really, really good for monk mode, because food is a huge distraction. It's also a huge, it's like a hobby almost. It is, you don't realize until you fast and let go of your obsession with food how time consuming it is, and how much attention it takes from you, and how like it's sort of an interest. It's like a side interest. It's like for some of us, the most exciting part of our day. So I did something called a Daniel fast. I did 7 days where I ate 2 meals a day, one at 12 and one at 6. And I ate like very, very clean. It did have a spiritual component to it, which I'll talk about that in a minute. But essentially just fasting in general, you know, even if you only do it for 3 days, I don't recommend the types of fast where you only drink water or you only drink juice. That's not monk mode. That's just self-harm, basically. I'm talking about the ones that give you peace. Like I would binge eat a lot of chocolate, chips. I just am a real foodie as well, so food was almost like a hobby. Once I released that, once I got control of that situation by going more peaceful about it, by creating space around it, it no longer controlled my life, and I got a lot of silence back. Another thing you can do is declutter, and we love to declutter, or we love to watch videos about declutter. It's very satisfying, but when it comes to ourselves, we find it hard to let go. I'll probably do several videos on this topic because it has been a huge part of my transformation to get rid of things that just are not coming into the next stages of life with me. A lot of those things I carried for decades. The next thing is peace somehow, and for me what I did was early mornings, and I would go just into my backyard, and it was before the rest of the world was awake, For you, if you can't do early mornings, it could be evenings, it could be late at night. I don't know what works for you, but you need to find peace. It's there if you want it. You don't have to spend all day, every day in noise and association with others. Now, let me add in here, people are saying technology is really bad and you need to lock your phone in a box. I think if you can do that and it works for you, yes, I think that is a good idea. But my early mornings are with my iPad, and I play like instrumental music or classical music, or I do a meditation, or it doesn't matter what, but I recommend, I read a lot actually. I read ebooks or actual books, and I'll read scripture, I'll read self-help books, as long as it's peaceful. Only you know if it's truly being peaceful. But my point is, I don't shy away from technology. Even in those moments, I still have my technology with me, but I'm kind of a techie. I'm a techie person. I'm not just blindly consuming. I use tech, I use AI, I use those things in ways that benefit me and my soul. I don't just blindly consume. But is there technology with me on those peaceful early mornings? Absolutely. This morning I was up 6:30 in the morning, and my favorite thing is like instrumental it's kind of instrumental worship music, I guess you could say, but it doesn't have to be worship music. It could just be instrumental music. All right, the next thing is walks. Walks are huge for me. You can either use them to get out like aggression and anger and negative emotions, like you can charge around, and that's actually really therapeutic and beneficial. Or you can just take slow walks. I used to, at the beginning when I was first recovering from my relationship and getting back to being a human being again, because I was like a shell of a person, I would come here and just visit these two particular spots of plants. And now sometimes I'll go visit those plants again, but like the walk to go and visit that plant and then the walk home was just so therapeutic. And sometimes I'd listen to something, a lot of the times I'd leave my phone at home. And you might say, well, in my area I can't walk. I used to drive to parks to go for walks. I just don't know how you can enjoy life without it. Oh, and the other thing I do, I live very, very close to the city, is I'll do city walks. I love city walks because I'm a big fan of cities. So when I travel, I always walk. I love traveling because you get those like 20,000 steps on your phone. City walks are just as beautiful as nature walks, as long as you're being peaceful. I mean, don't go at rush hour, but you can walk around the city and it's just spectacular. All right, the next is reading. I mentioned that briefly. I do read in the early mornings, but I think that you should always have a book or two going. Audiobooks are nice, but I think real reading, like not real reading, but you can read ebooks or library books. Even if you go just spend time in the library, there's something so peaceful about it. Do monks read? Absolutely. Like, I think it's a huge component of monk mode, reading. If you're just reading the Bible will blow you away. Like, I can't teach the Bible. I can only just say that if you read it, if you're into productivity, self-development, masculine, feminine energy, being supported by the universe, things like that, the Bible will absolutely blow you away. Tears will be streaming down your face. I wish that for everyone. It's a really good time, and it's just so spiritual. Which brings me to the next point. You need, if you want to use monk mode to change your life, you need spiritual practice or spiritual connection. I'm not going to tell you that you have to meditate, because I don't love meditation anymore, but I used to meditate a shitload. And I actually think it might have actually fucked with my memory. I'm not too good, I'm very in the clouds. I'm not too good with retaining information and learning things so much anymore. And I think it's because I meditated so damn much. All through my 20s and 30s, I was so into it. And it just felt so good, and it made so many things happen in my life. But if you can't meditate, that's fine. A spiritual practice is like I mentioned, I lived through Abraham Hicks, A Course in Miracles. Those are beautiful. It's not about manifesting, that's a different thing. Although you might, in your peaceful mornings or evenings, you might be doing manifestation kind of practices that you've come across. I guess I just want to say it's not about manifesting, it's not about productivity, but it's those are just things that happen naturally when you get in touch with your spiritual side as part of going monk mode. Get in touch with peace and silence as part of going monk mode. Get rid of distractions as part of going monk mode. Then productivity and manifestation will just happen naturally for you. Alright, so those are the ways that I use monk mode. Even to this day I live very, very much like a monk, but it's kind of just naturally who I am anyway. But it is you deep down. I promise every human being is peaceful and quiet at their core. So just to recap, I did fasting, decluttering, peaceful times of day, walks, reading, and spiritual practice. And also a huge one is inner work, shadow work and inner work. Now that can go into productive mode, like that can be like trying to fix yourself. Are monks out there trying to fix themselves? Absolutely not. They're accepting what is going on. When you do shadow work and inner work, make it about accepting who you are, accepting yourself, loving all different sides of you. Whoa, the sun has come out, and crazy me, I wore a sweater. Okay, YouTube is recommending that you watch this video, and I think YouTube knows you pretty well, don't they, with their recommendations? So check it out. Bye.